Welcome everyone, thank you for joining us. This is a Music and Digital Media Spring Showcase 2022. We're gonna be your hosts tonight. My name is Anna, this is Natalia, and this is Adam.
Our showcase this semester will be separated into two halves. The first one will be our installations, which was a project for the second years this semester.
And the second part is going to be other different artworks that first years and second year students prepared for you.
Enjoy.
Hi, I'm Colin, and welcome to Journey Through the Heart installation. It is an interactive audiovisual performance installation. The performance portion is the audio. I am sitting in the back live, controlling the outputs through the 8 speakers surrounding you. The interactive portion is the video game in the center of the room. The game is mostly puzzle-based. The goal is to travel through the heart. You only have one try at beating the game. If you fail, it moves on to the next person. When you enter the room, you can stand in the room and listen if you wish. Playing the game is totally optional. I want you to close your eyes, don't look around, feel the music around you, try to pinpoint where certain sounds are coming from. My inspiration for the installation came from Janet Cardiff's audio installation, a 40-part motet of all choir voices played separately. The idea for the game originated from the Unreal Engine 5 demo. The version of the game you are playing is a pre-visualization. It takes years to develop a full game. I want the viewer to think about the heart metaphorically. Is there someone you are mad at? Are they a family member? Maybe you should have a conversation and forgive them. The viewer needs to reflect on what they love, no matter what it is. Do they know you love them? Do you tell them enough? It's important they know that, so go tell them. This is the audio setup, so everything runs out of Logic using the buses you can currently see on screen. All those buses are automated. They are then sent out to these 8 bus channels that are the speakers. There are 8 speakers used for this setup. Then, it runs to the Midas console currently seen on screen. From there, you route the audio inputs out to the buses on the Midas console, and then out to the speakers. Then from there you can control the volume of the speakers on the console, and you're all set up. I'm sitting behind the laptop performing the audio live while somebody else is playing the game. In the future, I'd like to develop a fully realized version of the game using Unreal Engine 5, which was recently released. Other changes include automating the audio using Max to make it more seamless, make the game a little less challenging. I will show you some clips in a moment of people challenging it and getting frustrated. make the game possible to beat. The original idea was to frustrate people, but at the same time, it should still be possible to beat the game. Thank you all so much for your time, and enjoy some clips of people getting mad at playing the game.
No! Okay, I got up to there at least. So. Yes, dance, my big dance.
Are you mad yet?
No, I'm just in it. It's hurting my arm.
That one thing.
Okay, it's painful now, dude.
Huh?
It's painful now.
I don't want to give up. This is actually making me like sweat.
You're like,
I'm not even kidding. I'm like f***ing. I'm like in a cold sweat over this game. Alright, it, skip me to the end. Homie, what? Was that it?
fail.
As non-binary has started to become more and more important to my identity both as an artist and as a musician. Performance of myself serves to directly confront the conflicting feelings that those two aspects of my life have created. Exploring themes of self-doubt, depersonalization, and gender dysphoria, the installation portrays the way that it feels to be removed from your own playing, just as many non-binary and trans individuals feel removed from their own bodies and from their own selves. For those who don't know, gender dysphoria is an experience specific to trans, non-binary, or trans-questioning people where they feel as though their bodies or some other part of their identity is out of line with their own experience. This is in a way that is specifically related to their gender. It can cause many problems for these people, including depression, anxiety, disassociation, depersonalization, eating disorders, and many other mental health related issues. Dysphoria is not a necessary condition for all trans people, but it is one of the main struggles experienced by trans people and is therefore considered a very central issue to the trans experience. This representation of dysphoria in my piece goes along with my childhood, which was spent in a community of classical musicians, another place where my true identity felt out of line with the one that I was supposed to be taking on. Through symbolism and metaphor, my installation paints two different issues in the same light, as they are both entangled with each other in a very similar way in my own life. There's no single place where the inspiration for my sculpture came from. I had the idea of a gender-related installation since I had first heard about the assignment, so I always knew the basic subject matter that I was going to choose. It was a while though before my mind came to piano and all of the struggles that I had with it before I discovered dysphoria and what it really was. A very significant aspect of my dysphoria personally was related to my hands. There's no specific reason for this, but either way, it came to be very destructive to my ability to progress on both the piano and violin. For a while in my life, I couldn't really recognize my hands as my own when I looked down at them. It felt like I was watching another body in third person. So when I played piano, it felt like I was watching somebody else at the keyboard, not fully in control of the notes that I played. Obviously, this is a horrifying experience. Though I definitely improved at playing piano over time, it didn't really feel that way, and it wasn't until I fully discovered my identity and what dysphoria even was that I could really see myself as a piano player. When I played music, it felt like I was doing it with somebody else's hands, or as though I didn't have any of my own. This is where the main imagery comes from in this installation. Every other part of it directly stems from that image, or is otherwise strongly related to it. The creation of the sculpture involved packing tape, plastic wrap, and a newspaper. I was wrapped in very thick layers of saran wrap, which were then taped together for security. Each part of my body was wrapped separately, starting with my torso, then either of my arms, my waist, and finally my head. After they were wrapped, the plastic was cut so that it could be removed, and then I quickly taped them back together to keep their form. The body was then stuffed with newspaper and just a little bit of piano sheet music, and finally the whole thing was taped together to form the entire body. Additionally, a string of lights were taped around the inside of the head, which isn't really symbolic of anything specific, but it adds quite a lot to how the final result looks. As for the legs, the pants were put onto the mannequin a few hours before it was set up, and they were stuffed with newspaper to save on plastic and tape. The clothes were selected to look like a standard outfit that would be worn by a man to a recital or a concert, also making sure that the music inside of the body would still be visible. Performance of myself is just as important in my personal development as it is in the program that it was constructed for. The installation, along with the performance that went beside it, is the first real art presentation that I have personally done solo as an openly queer person, and hopefully the first of many. Its creation allowed me to rediscover a lot of the confidence that I had previously lost as a musician, struggling with dysphoria. And it is extremely empowering for me to be able to explore those feelings and openly present them in my art.
It was week 2 of our installation class when I first had the idea for my installation. At that time, I was reading the book about immigration process because I was struggling with adaptation in Canada, and I wondered, am I the only one who's encountered that many challenges on the way of immigration process? Well, the answer was, of course, I'm not the only one, and that was the moment when I realized what I'm going to do for my installation. I'm going to tell the stories about immigrants who come to Canada to build their new life here. I started doing a documentary with people from Mexico, Russia, Ukraine, and South Korea. They were telling me what challenges they had here in Canada, how they deal with them, what they love about their country, what inspired them. All of them were telling me about places they adore here, the places that inspire them and give them energy. Along with the documentaries, I took Polaroid pictures of their favorite places in Canada. I chose to Polaroid pictures because I wanted to capture the exact moment when they were telling me their stories about these places. They were so excited about it and happy, and that's why I thought it was the best thing that I could do is to capture the moment. I created my installation by hand. Documentary with immigrant stories, hanging Polaroid pictures, and here my first challenge arose. To create my installation, I needed a construction where I can hang my pictures. So my professor Mark helped me with the realization. He and his family built the construction for my installation artwork where I could hang my pictures, and for hanging them, I was using fishing line because in this case, there was an illusion that pictures stay in the air. I also needed more than 50 Polaroid pictures from installation to create interactive artwork so people could walk through it. It happened, my first installation. People could walk through pictures, touch them, look at them, listen to the stories of immigrants, and go with them through a little journey of the immigration process. My vision of art is quite simple. It should have a meaning to you as an artist and have a message that you translate to the world. I expected my installation would inspire the audience to feel and acknowledge immigrants, how unique and special immigration is, and how challenging and at the same time beautiful it might be.
This is one of my original songs. I actually wrote part of it here in this same space. This is called Little One, and it goes like this. Little one, I can see you're afraid, sitting in a corner in your twin size bed. I need to remind you that besides all this pain, you will grow like them.
Play Your Cards is an installation art piece by Henry Lawrence that explores the two-faced nature of gambling, casinos, and addiction in general, promising all the fun in the world while leaving those who become afflicted with an addiction to ruin. With cards shuffling and flying all around you, there's a certain courage needed to break the cycle of this disease while caught in the middle. Your chips are on the table. Consider what you wager and stand to lose when playing with your own house money. The dealer has dealt everyone in, and now it's your choice to make. During the installation, I got some questions about the soundtrack. The soundtrack is a fairly ambient piece that I decided to compose, based around the notion of that dichotomy between fun and loss. The percussion is simple card shuffling sounds that were mixed a bit, just to add to the overall cohesion of the piece. This installation was a manifestation of all my feelings after staying at a hotel with a casino inside it. I'd never been in a casino until then, but the stark contrast of the promise of fun and wealth, juxtaposed with the body, language, and look of the players made me almost disgusted. I've known addicts in my life, no matter what the vice, and I know that compulsive or uncontrolled gambling can absolutely be a disease. I hope for this installation to make you think about the often promising nature of a lifestyle, whether that promise be conscious or not, as well as the implications. Having dealt with, albeit minor, addiction issues, I know the feeling of time, space, opportunity, and usually money passing you by in an effort to merely maintain and feel as though there is nothing lost. In that case, the sooner you cut your losses, the sooner that lost time can turn into a learning experience that shapes the better you that might have never existed, even if you never went down.
My name is Matthew. This is my installation titled A Century Through Music. The premise is that you'll be starting with very, very basic elements of music that make up music, and then as you walk through the installation, you'll start with early 1900s music examples like jazz and swing, and then by the end of it, you have more modern examples all the way to where you're blending genres together like people have been doing now. And so for the first, at the very beginning, you just have, for example here, it's beat. It's just a metronome, it's counting 1, 2, 3, 4, the time signature. And then you move to pitch. And I have examples, and it tells you what the video is and kind of the idea behind every single example. And then you go back and forth, then you have dynamics. And then you have barbershop quartet. That was a very early example that was similar to jazz. And then this one is a key. You go back and forth every time. And then you can make your way through blues, country. Then you would have jazz. And then you go all the way to experimental music. And then you go rock and genre blending. And that's kind of the premise. It lets us, so as you walk through the installation, you will kind of see how music has evolved over time and how all the songs that you listen to today have influences.
Welcome back, everyone. I really hope you enjoy these amazing installations the students prepare for you. They work really hard, and I'm so proud of all of the nice work.
And the second part of our showcase is going to be different artworks that students prepared for you.
Some of these were made as part of school assignments and some of them weren't, but they're all amazing, so we hope you enjoy.
Oh yeah.
Let's go. Sorry.
See the way you want her. You're not easily impressed, baby. I got one under my dress, but you won't twitch. I see she's got something I don't. And now I'm jealous in my head, 'cause you look so good in my bed, but you like the bitch. So I keep crying for my age, my life and my face, and I will
that was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should we do it one more time or that's alright?
Well, sadly, this is coming to an end, but I have to say again, this work was simply amazing and it was wonderful.
And from all of the music and digital media students, we're so grateful that we can have this space where we can come every day to learn and to express ourselves with our art.
So again, thank you so much for watching and joining us today. And yeah, I hope you like our showcase.
Have a good one.